Et ça va faire du bien en tabarnouche. Yeah. And there's my belt. It's almost like you are in the movie Slapshot.
It's like trench warfare. You're all fighting, you know, everyone's throwing punches over the boards, and there's guys standing up on the bench hitting sticks down.
They phoned me the next day and they offered me the contract and everything. I was like, well, what is this league? You know, I couldn't even find it on the internet. I was like, where is this league?
Like you go there and you're thinking someone's gonna be coming. So it's just a matter of time and when.
There's no league tougher than this league I've ever played in. I'd say that the people of Laval love the Chiefs so much because not only do they get to see a good hockey game, but it's basically like WWF on skates. You never know what to expect when you get to the rink, and you never leave disappointed. And you never leave sober either.
The best hockey is in Laval. You want the best team? In Laval.
Yes, sir.
The best fans? In Laval.
Yes, sir.
But in Laval, they're heroes.
It's a wonderful team. I like fights and blood.
The people recognize them and they love them.
My favorite? Badgerny, Mike Badgerny.
Badgerny. Mike Badgerny. Badgerny? Was it very good?
They're like heroes in Laval. That's for sure. And some of the guys, it's worse than the others. They're stars in Laval.
Like I said, I hadn't heard anything about this league. I had just driven up 5 hours, and but I don't even think the game had even started, and there was already like 3 or 4 fights. Like the first 5 or 6 shifts in a row, there was fights one after the other, and I was just looking at my buddy going, oh my God, you know, what I get myself into.
You know, in Quebec, you know, people are really emotional. Every kind of fan in Canada are really, they go see a game with emotion. They want emotion game too.
My first year, I think we had maybe 8 or 9 bench brawls where the benches cleared, guys were in the stands, coaches were fighting. For instance, one time, Bob Berger, our owner, ran right across the ice when there was we were having a brawl with his suit on and jumped to the other team's bench and started fighting the players. You know, you wouldn't see any of that stuff anywhere else.
Well, we start to playing the same time, the same play that they used to play in the Big Six, original six. We like that. Well, old style hockey. That's what I played before, and I want to make a team about it. You know, good skilled players and tough team. And when it's time to To drop the glove, you have to drop the glove.
Berger's got a list of guys that he brings in. He's got 30 pages every day of guys that he wants.
How about Ken Boone?
No.
I heard this year he's fought
See, I
good.
seen him fight last year or 2 years ago, and you know who he used to beat up? He beat him
But
up.
we're looking about guy who got character, you know. I would like guy who can go in the corners and big guys and tough guys. That's the chief, you know. That's not Johnstown chief, but it's a Laval chief, and that's what it is.
I got on the ice and I started, my very first game, I started on the defense. And
Sometimes the games are really, like, real rough.
Thetford Mines used to be a real crazy place to play. And
So I'm starting on D.
they were pretty excited about the Chiefs coming to town.
And my line mate, he's my roommate, his first game too. So we don't know, we have no idea. We got nothing, don't know what to expect at all.
I didn't really know anything. You know, I didn't know about this league or anything.
He had at least seen the start of the game before where there was like about 7 fights in a row.
I was going back to run a pick for my D partner. And usually there's one guy forward checking, maybe two. I remember I had one guy and another guy went by me and I went to grab him.
And all of a sudden, like 3 more guys go flying by me, just huge gorillas.
Big gorillas.
I'm like trying to like grab everybody, there's no way, you know.
And then before I could grab him, a third guy came by. They just did a 3-man forecheck and they just came in and they just wham.
And wham, elbows flying everywhere, trying to kill him. He just tries to fire the puck out.
We couldn't even get the puck out.
All we wanted to do is get the puck out.
They've just got guys running around everywhere.
Gorillas everywhere.
And this guy came flying past me and he elbowed my D partner right in the head, broke his nose.
They fight right away.
This is all in the first 15 seconds of my first game. I was just like, what the hell is going on here?
I mean, I played hockey for 25 years and I've never seen this. What the hell?
It's just happening so quick.
My poor roommate, he's in the box, with his broken nose. Gets hit in the face with the puck. So he goes to fire it out right over the glass, right in his face. He looked like a freak for 3 weeks. He's cut from the puck, he's got a welt, like the whole side of his face is like this. I kind of sit back and think, like if I was playing against the Chiefs, how would I feel, with guys like Martin, Raby, and Louis Bedard and stuff. I'd be like, who am I supposed to fight now? Who am I fighting today? That's, what I'd be thinking.
There's always a lot of pressure when we play teams like the Chiefs.
It's not like this with every team.
People are hacking and this. I get bottles thrown at me, and I guess it's a part of the game, but here, anyways. But
everyone knows about it. From junior, they brought up this whole mystique about the Laval teams, and they're always tough. There's always a good show. The fans, I think, play into it a little bit. They're pretty tough fans also. They don't let you go 1 minute of the game. They're always talking to you. And you know that when you're coming to Laval, you better bring it because they're a tough team. It's war. It's really war. You don't get a night off in Laval.
If they ask if this fight is the real fight and this fake, I don't believe there's really fake in there because there's people, sometimes they come out with the telemusic and with the bench and get the guy and bring him home to the hospital.
A lot of people ask me the question, is this real?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, when you see the guy knocked out, they called the doctor and everything. It is real, it hurts. Broken nose, broken teeth, shit happens, there's blood on the ice. Believe me, it's real.
The fake, for that, is not fake. I saw the guys getting the shoulder all fucked up and don't come play for at least a year and they don't come back for a while. So people say it's fake. It's kind of hard to say it's fake.
I see, I've been cut over this eyebrow. I don't know if I can remember, I've had 6, 7, 8 stitches.
I took a high stick and took 40 stitches in the mouth one time.
2 in my head.
The stick just hit me right in the lips.
I got 2 in my arm.
The cut was so big that I could stick all 4 fingers in.
It's weird because you could see like through the layer of fat or skin or whatever.
It was like all down here kind of thing.
5 on the outside, 6 on the inside.
I had to zip all my tongue back together. It was gross.
And 6 on the bottom.
But you can't see it, but the inside's all chewed apart.
4 or 5 stitches on my eyelid for that one.
I think I got 45 stitches that time.
A couple in here once.
Maybe 50.
I broke my nose 5 times.
I've had my nose broken, not sure how many times.
I ended up going to the hospital. Obviously, it was broken.
Definitely 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, I'm not sure.
I broke my hand my first shift fighting.
I broke my hand.
My hand's probably been my worst.
I broke my thumb in 2 spots.
I pushed this knuckle right back to here.
Like this thumb has no tendon in it anymore.
Like when I was in the hospital, they were tugging on it.
Bend it backwards, doesn't do anything.
Which is just a lot of pain.
I broke my collarbone.
And they used some kind of hammer thing to kind of push it back. I don't know what that was.
That's just from like, you know, cross-checking.
I've shattered these guys.
Broke my arms a couple times.
I had these guys dangling off to the side.
Blew my knees out twice.
Knocked my 2 teeth out.
I got my 2 front teeth knocked right out.
I had to go off the ice for a bit. I was in a little bit of shock.
And he basically just stood over top of me while I was picking my teeth off the ground and was laughing at me.
My teeth weren't actually knocked out. They were a 45-degree angle.
I was fucking fuming.
And then I came back out to get the guy.
My next shift, I went out and basically baseball swung him with my stick.
And I smashed his visor on his face.
I think I got 15-game suspension for that one.
Like it just...
One of my best friends, he knocked all my molars out.
Well, I haven't hurt myself that much in hockey. Just small injuries.
La porte as-tu barré de l'autre bord? Barre-la parce qu'il y a bien du stock à eux autres. Okay, this here, I made this all by myself, me and my wife. So my wife can really put it on and there's no number. So you can say it's, oh, one of those guys and one of those... Anyway, this sweater is the Chief de Laval. That one, bought it for $40. It's very cheap for $40. But to do what I want to do, I didn't want to spend that much in case I would, like they say in English, fuck up on the thing, how you say, the trick I want to do in the back.
The living arrangements? They said I would be living in an apartment with like 3 other guys or something like that. It was in French, so it's kind of like, well, what is this place?
It was quite interesting. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll pick you up. He's like, I'm like, where do you live? He's like, Colisée de Laval. I'm like, okay, near it? No, he's like, in it. I'm like, no, you're kidding me. He's like, oh, I'm living in it.
They're like, yeah, you're right at the rink. And I was like, okay, probably apartment across the rink or something. You know, I could just walk to the rink every day. Then I came here and they're like, oh, this is where you're living. And I was like, oh my God. This is what your room would look like if you first came. This is kind of the deluxe room. Kind of a mess. Kind of don't have a vacuum. A few holes in the walls from the previous guest or whatever, but
this is not going to be a try to tell the builders this isn't going to be a fire exit. This is my apartment. You have to build another door like you said.
You should have seen it the first year. It was like 10 times worse than it was now. It was like, there might as well have been rats and it was unlivable. So I said, no way, I'm not living in this place. I couldn't have my girlfriend and my kid running around in that place and saying, this is my house. Are you going to have a birthday party and have 20 kids running around in that place? I couldn't even imagine. But it's definitely livable. And if you're young and, you know, who cares? I lived in places 10 times worse than that. When I was 21, 22, I lived with 5, 6 guys where it was like in the movies. You might as well friggin'... Remember one time the dog took a crap and we threw a pizza box over and I don't think anybody picked it up for about 2 weeks. We lived together.
Have to let myself back in. I locked the door and it's a padlock because we don't have proper locks here.
It's locked, but to unlock it,
I wouldn't want to fight Corey Holland. Super tough guy. I think he's one of the most feared players in the league just for the sole fact. He's got a head like a rock, so you can hit him 100 times and he won't affect him. And he likes to go open. He doesn't wrestle too often. He either fights to get knocked out or he fights to win and knock the guy out.
Well, my role is definitely to get the crowd into the game and, you know, get the fans going, whether it be by hit or dropping gloves, fighting. But I'm definitely an entertainer, an emotional player.
I don't know how he does it because I get hit in the head once now and I don't like it, but he gets hit in the head 40 times and he laughs about it. Like maybe it's all the Lysol I drank as a kid, I don't know, but no, I'm just thinking, just joking, Corey.
First of all, it's my style of fighting. You know, I'm very open. I'm a left-handed fighter, and I don't really tie up, and I go. So, like, either, like, someone's getting hurt pretty much in my fight, either me or him or someone, but it's going to be some punches thrown anyway. So I think the crowd like gets into that. I've had great success in Laval, and the fans have really grown attached to me. Like, they all chant my name and stuff. I think it's really quite comical. But like I said, I come to the rink every night and I try to perform and entertain for them. So.
See the lock we have on the door? They used to keep all the thieves away. And the robbers, and if you look over here, you'll see there's the penitentiary too. That's how safe we are, how trusting we are.
Do I consider myself a goon? No. I think I can fight, but I did it. I was never ever a goon ever when I never considered myself a goon. I could always play the game and wasn't one of those guys that sat on the bench and, you know, had the tap on the shoulder and went out and did it every night.
Mike Anderson, he's the leader of the Chiefs de Laval. And I like him because he was the leader. He makes good pass, and he's a real leader of the Chiefs de Laval.
I kind of see myself, I wouldn't say as good, but, you know, if no one was in this league, I kind of see myself playing that kind of role where, you know, I can put up some half-decent numbers, score some goals, or do whatever. But if push came to shove, I can fight too. This year I've only had like maybe 6 or 7. My first 2 years I fought every retard in the league because I was basically new meat, fresh meat. So every night you play a different team. A guy doesn't know you, you're going to get every retard out there asking. And I was stupid too because it was like, okay, well, yeah, we'll go kind of thing. But it's not a good example for my daughter to be seeing daddy do that stuff. Back then I'd say yeah, now I say no.
Your daddy.
Hey, put it up in here like that. Put it in here like this. Now you push it down and it'll pop in. Push. Here, push. There.
Tonight's a real big show, so I had to shine my belt. And make sure this belt, wait a minute. This is a cleaner, and once in a while I use it to clean my belt. It's got to show the people how we are proud of the Chiefs de Laval. See how nice it is? This is a real good stuff. This shines a lot, and I'm prepared for tonight. Tonight, people, you better watch out because there's a big action going on. Fist fight, hockey. I hope they win. I swear to God, I pray for them. See how much it shines?
First part of the game, like, you know, guys are working hard, but nothing is clicking. And so the boys, I think, had enough, and they wanted to stir the pot up a little bit because that's our style. And just happened to be turned into a little bit of a brawl there, but
I got a little frustrated, and I was chirping at one guy, and another guy took exception from the bench and skated by, threw a punch, and you know, I threw a punch back, and somebody grabbed me, and I couldn't really get out, so I just started defending myself, and I tried to hit whatever was what was moving, and without eating one myself.
Well, we played like the Chiefs should play.
Have you ever seen a beating like that? I mean, that was brutal. We just beat the piss out of them. We just stomped them.
I think after the brawl happened, guys just, like put their personal agendas aside, frustrations aside, and stuck together. And I think that we set our statement, we put the tone, we let them know like whose building they are in. And then like the third period was just unbelievable.
We scored, what, 3 goals on that power play?
We had a mission, and as you can tell by the third period, we just turned it up a notch. And
I've never seen that in a hockey game, to come back like I've seen teams from down 3 or 4 goals and you end up winning by a goal or 2, but to come back and to slaughter them by 4 goals, that's just unbelievable.
7 goals in the third. Unbelievable. That's just a pure character, gut check, guys wanting to win, and hopefully it carries over for the rest of the season.
That's our style, and when the way we play for physical, we're the best team.
Just bang, bang. Seriously, check your verse.
Is that your bonus, Hondo? They want your autograph. $100 bill. Hondo, is that your bonus?
Hey, seriously, check your beers. I got about fucking $8 and change.
Hey, it was just one beer. The guy thought it was a beer cast. It's your night end, though. Tip glass. It's your bonus. You got a tip glass. No.
It's a world I don't really understand, I guess. See, all these fans are sitting there and they're cheering away, and they have no idea that these guys are actually hurting each other.
I'm not really expecting him to get hurt, which is one reason why I can relax with it. I think my wife's, besides being afraid that he might get hurt, is probably more afraid he's going to hurt someone else.
I think, why would you want to watch somebody punching people in the face constantly? It doesn't make any sense at all to me. And they say, oh, it's all part of the game. Well, I've seen them play in the Olympics, and I've seen good hockey, and they don't have to do that.
But it's your job. You can't be concerned with who's in the stands, I mean, if you want to play extra hard because somebody's there, sure, but as far as limiting your game, then, oh, I'm not going to do this because, my poor mother's in the crowd, I'm not going to get in a fight. Hey, if it happens in the game.
I try to encourage him. We used to go down to Texas and see his games, and I'd be so worked up by the time I got to the arena. But I said, I've got to go for him because he's my son, and this is what he wants to do.
That's not what I do. It happens sometimes. I mean, I play hockey, and if fights happen, it happen.
Maybe he thinks he has to prove himself, so he's had to resort to being the goon kind of thing, But I try to tell him that there's lots of other things he can do. He doesn't have to prove himself like that, you know?
I think a lot of it, Mom didn't want to drive all the way. It's a long drive for her. She doesn't like being in the car too long.
Huh? No? Or yes? Yes? Swimming? Okay, Kelly. Swimming in the bathtub?
She likes Mommy a little better than she likes Daddy.
I was a little weary at first coming to Laval, where I had never been, and not speaking very much French. But the people are really nice, and I work just 10 minutes, 15 minutes away, so.
We need a house like Craig Martin, eh, honey?
We met at a bar in Brampton. It was, he came in the bar, I was already there with my girlfriend, and then we started dating, and it's been 8 years.
They called me and offered me.
Dating for 8 years. Not married, just dating.
I give Tara all the credit in the world. We've been through thick and thin over the last 8 years, kind of thing. You know, there was times when we first had our daughter where we had broken up for almost a year and stuff like that, and then we stuck it out. And we're back together, and we're like the second year I played pro. Tara was pregnant at the time, and we had played 6 games. She had just gotten there, and we had to pack up and leave in one day and drive 1,100 miles, and I had to be at practice the next day. And we just kind of said to each other, like, we're not going to be doing this every year, especially with a little one coming. You got a wife, a kid, a cat. You know, it's not that easy just to pack up and move your house every week.
When you're moving all the time, there's not a lot of, you make friends and things like that, but everybody has their friends, so you're new and you're alone a lot. And for me, once I had a child, I needed that home environment and not having that feeling of not knowing that maybe I wasn't going to be there the next week.
One guy that was living with us, Tim Levesque, probably the weirdest guy I've ever met in my life.
What is he, 6'4", 6'5", 265?
Well, he's a pretty good guy. He's tall, and everybody was afraid. He's a military guy.
He's just got a lot of muscle on him. I don't
know what the Army did to him or what they trained him to do.
Usually has his head shaved. Or
I would just like to know what he
history
is. Yeah, just what it really, really is.
Well, I hope he doesn't watch this because maybe he'll hunt me down and stuff, but...
Like, was he ever in the Navy? Was he ever in that? Or is he just some form of...
Well, he's on a pension, he says.
Like, but some form of army, or maybe he was in the militia, maybe, like, or...
We're going to pick up Tim Levesque at the bus station. He's coming in for the game tonight.
I couldn't believe when they brought him. I had never heard anything about this guy.
He likes to tell you different things. Yeah. So just, like the one time when he left, he said he was working at a bomb unit or
He said he was talking to Richard. Richard's bringing him in for the game.
Super nice guy. Don't know what to say because I don't know what the hell's going through his head half the time. I drove with him a couple times to a few games, and he was in the back of my van yelling and screaming, and
like he's an outdoor talker.
He tried to teach Mackenzie how to do a skipping rope one day over at the rink, and he was like talking to a drill sergeant. I don't know what to say about Tim. Oh my gosh.
He's such a nice guy too, man.
Yeah, he is. Tim? How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Good. Ready to go? I'm parked in no parking zone.
Right. You know, the good thing about playing here, Mike, is that you know, you're very close to the Molson Center and the Montreal Canadiens Hockey Club.
there's a lot of scouts in Montreal, eh? There's a lot of hockey scouts in Montreal because there's so many hockey players and so many hockey teams in Montreal and Laval and all the surrounding cities of Montreal, you know. So there's always scouts watching all the games. They make a living just scouting hockey players. You know, I'm reading the hockey news and I'm reading about players who've been slugging it out in the minors. I've heard of 30-year-old hockey players getting drafted into the NHL. You know, I'm sure what you read in the hockey news is probably fairly accurate, you know? Yeah. Well, because of my size, I think, and because of my background, I think they want me to be an intimidator on the ice. You know, I'm not a player that yet plays the power plays or penalty killing or specialty teams. I go out onto the ice to try and intimidate the other players on the other teams. I've played 6 games now. I've been in 6 fights. So that's what they want me to do, and I guess I got to prove myself. I play hockey too. You know, last night I played some shifts in the 3rd period. Really enjoy playing. There's a lot of boys who are playing this man's sport of hockey. I'm a man, I play like a man. At 33 years old, you know, I play hockey like a tough man would play hockey. It's definitely a lot more comfortable than having to be in a war zone. Playing hockey on a hockey team is definitely a lot more comfortable than being in a war zone. There's no doubt about that.
You know, when you throw your jab?
Well, it all just evolved the other day. Mike just called and said this guy in Montreal, whoever he is, I couldn't even stay on the phone. I was just beside myself. I had to get off the phone, and Dad continued to talk to him, and Mike has already had some concussions, a couple of serious ones.
Yeah, so it's a boxing match. They have about 4 or 5, like just amateur boxing matches. So there's 4 or 5 of those cards, and then 4 or 5 guys from the league fighting.
Who else is gonna fight?
Holland's fighting Bruno Charade.
I think it's great. Like, be a lot of fans. You know, people want to see it, and then it's a different aspect of it.
I'm gonna fight Joel Theriault.
I don't want to see it, honestly. I don't want to. On ice, you're on skates, so the hits are not as powerful as when you're in the boxing match, or, you know, because your foot are on the floor, and when you're going to punch, you're going to give it all you've got.
I was pretty desperate last night because he said he was going to sign something and have a picture this morning, so I was pretty worked up by this morning, so I called him first thing this morning, and the only thing I could think to say to him was just plead with him. But he was pensive about it this morning, so I'm hoping that he will make the decision not to.
Are you going to go through with it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Just for the experience, just for fun, just because I've never done it before.
How did the Chiefs feel about you doing this?
Oh, it's in our arena.
I heard Mike Badgerini's supposed to be fight Theriault, you know? If he fight Theriault used to fight every day, you know? My guy's gonna have to learn. Maybe I'll show him, or maybe I'll send him to some place who'll show him how to box.
Hitting that other guy, and when you get him taking the blows, you gotta keep hitting him some more, because if you do stop, then he's gonna start hitting you. So you keep pounding him and hitting him and hitting him. And that you're not that kind of a person, but you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you scared? Just sitting here thinking about it? No, but if I were to sit and think about it for a couple minutes, I'm sure my heart rate would get elevated.
Yeah. It's certainly something, eh?
Oh yeah, I'd be scared. I'm sure it'll be scary as hell going into it. Hey, Grandpa.
What is $3,000 in your life? Considering it to dangers, what can happen? You don't know. You never know. It's not worth it. See so many guys get hurt. It's a tough, rough sport. It's not for you. You don't need that.
Even just one fight?
Yeah. And then maybe there'll be another fight. Maybe one blow. How do you know? One lucky blow on your temple. There's risk.
True.
Why do you want it? You don't want any risk. You want fun. You want to live. So you shouldn't touch it.
Yeah, it's great.
Stay as tired as you got had enough.
Yeah.
This is a trumpet where you bought it anywhere, and I put the logo of the chief. When I'm ready, I put it on, and I burn. This is for the chief de la Laval. It's always there, handy when it's time to rustle. Yeah.
It was set up before the game even started. They had brought this huge man, this huge young man, to Laval to play against us, and he was the talk of the town in Sorel. He's probably the biggest hockey player as far as weight and height goes. Somebody told me he was 6'7" tall, 320 pounds of weight. He could very well be in the Guinness Book of World Records for being the largest hockey player in the history of the sport. And I guess what they wanted me to do was, to fight against him, to keep him off the ice. But he's definitely somebody that can be very, very dangerous when you're punching bare knuckles, bareheaded. You gotta be very, very careful when you're fighting somebody like that, because their first punch could be your last. Bajorny and Corey Holland have been living in this hockey arena for a year now, eh? For a year.
Went home for a bit in the summer.
How many other hockey players can say that they've lived in a hockey arena for a year?
I don't know if it's something to be proud of or... It's a fact. How's that? It's a fact. The fact is, and you determine whether it's good or bad.
But you know, Mike, like this night might not be the end of the road for these hockey players, because I talked to Al McIsaac on the telephone, and he's the general manager of the Norfolk Admirals in the American Hockey League, the Chicago Blackhawks farm team, and I called up Al and tell him, you know, that he better take a good look at Mike Bajorny and he better take a good look at Matthew Rabi, you know, that they're both 26, 27 years old, slugging it out in the minors, you know, put in a good word for them, try and get them a tryout. Because I know Al McIsaac takes me seriously.
Sometimes you ask yourself, what the hell am I doing here? You know, I'm playing in the Quebec Semi-Pro League, living in an arena, you know, but then at the same time, you know, what are you in the game for? What do you want to accomplish? You know, the reason why I came back to this team is because the owners had said right from the start, we want to win the championship this year. That's why we're here. I mean, I could go down to, you know, play in the Western Pro, you know, I was there last year, been down there for the last 6 years. I'm sure I could have found a place to play this year, but I didn't even bother trying to find another place to play. I decided, you know what, I'm going to come back here. I'm going to give it everything I have this year, and I'm going to win the championship this year. If you win a championship, anything can happen the next year. You know, if you've got that ring, you were the champions of the league that you played in. That looks good on your resume for the next year.
We got a pro team. We got pro players. This is probably going to be the final lineup for the rest of the season and the playoffs.
My arm, almost as big as your neck.
Is it?
Yeah, my forearm is almost as big as your neck.
I don't think Mike likes to fight. When he fights on the ice, it's kind of part of the game. Whereas if he boxes, it's basically for fighting.
The thing is, the reason why I kind of don't want to do this fucking... Look like a fucking meathead.
Well, I don't even know if we have different opinions, but I mean, he was talking about the fighting and the boxing, like being associated with the goon and that kind of stuff like that. So, and you know, like I feel that, you know, I am a fighter. I've been a fighter all my life, plus a hockey player, you know, which has been a bonus for me to be able to play hockey.
Well, I know that since last year, every fight I saw, you win. So I said, one day somebody gonna not kill you, but somebody's gonna win. You're gonna be hurt, and that's what I'm scared of.
I'm a fighter. I like to think that I'm, you know, the toughest guy. Everyone that fights like to think they're the toughest guy, and I guess it's just another way to prove it, you know what I mean? I got a trainer. His name's Paul Evans. He's done some boxing before. I don't know, like, he was a champion or Golden Gloves or anything like that, but seems pretty good. He's a big black guy, so he must know how to fight. So. I heard lots of people saying that, like, they won't think that I'll do the 3 minutes, that, like, I'm not in shape to do that, too. So, like, I got to prove them wrong, too, and do stuff like that, and prove myself wrong. You know what I mean? I want to make sure I can go in there and do it.
He said because we're moving together and we're trying to have a good life together and to beginning something good. And he said, I'm gonna box even if I lost or win. We're gonna have money for us.
You gotta do them sprints, baby. And that's the only thing that's gonna work, because everything's like a sprint. Especially amateur boxing, everything's in a sprint, baby. So you gotta when you get tired, that's when you gotta start. When you're running, when you get tired, you're doing that sprint. When you finish the sprint, that's when you're doing shadow boxing, okay? You wanna do it when you're tired, not when you're feeling good.
I know he's gonna wear a helmet and he's gonna have like big gloves. He said it's kind of safe.
Parents, felt good. I was all over. I could have, like, if I was really trying to hurt him, I could have really, a couple times I let off because I had a couple combinations. Fuck, I'm dead.
All right, we're gonna go eat, right? I'm gonna drive him to the metro station on the way to eat.
You going back?
I'm going to Norfolk. I've been talking to Al McIsaac, the general manager of the Norfolk Admirals hockey team. They're the farm team of the Chicago Blackhawks in the American Hockey League. I've been sending scouting reports back and forth. I'm just gonna drive down there, put my car back on the road, drive down there, and I'm gonna train the Admirals for the rest of the season. If they don't want me to finish the season there, I'll come back here and finish the season here. I got enough games in here to play the playoffs, so anything could happen, right? I mean, Blackhawks could be there, saying we want to give you a contract. Who knows what could happen, right?
And Hawley stirred the pot on me. Are you there when he did that?
No, what did
well, because he goes, well, Tim's leaving. I didn't know why he was leaving. I never heard. I said, well, what are you leaving for? What do you mean you're leaving? You just picking up and going now? Oh, well, I was a healthy scratch tonight, so I'm going to Norfolk. I got to play. I'll be back for playoffs, and I said, okay, and whatever. And I said to Hawley, well, did he just get gassed or what? And Hawley was, what? Tim got gassed? And he was right there. What? What's going on? Craig said that you got gassed and they cut you. They never cut me. I said, Tim, come on now. Who are you going to believe? Me or Corey? Yeah, I know you, Holland. Yeah. You're always starting trouble. I didn't know if he was going to hit me or what.
Can you grab the remote there while you're in marriage?
No, I can't. Busy eating.
She's dying to get married.
When are you going to get married?
Never.
Paul's marriage is a piece of paper. After you've been together for 8 years, it doesn't... Why do you want to get married so bad? Just to make it official? I'm asking. I'm not trying to be a smart ass.
Not that I want to get married so bad. It's...
Because if you get pregnant again, you're going to get shot?
Yeah, pretty much. No. I think it's just the complete package that completes it.
I think you've got me, I got you, we're happy, we got a daughter.
Stop eating.
Pass me the sauce. Look at all the friggin' sticks they got. We can't even get 2.
Actually, I feel pretty mellow, pretty loose. I got a little bit of butterflies right now, but that's the first time I've had them all day. So.
There wasn't any one reason why not to do it. It was just, I weighed the pros, I weighed the cons, and the pros came up short.
Miss my beautiful
You talk to fans, you talk to people, they're like, oh, we thought you were boxing, why didn't you? And I'm like, all I say I'm a hockey player, not a boxer.
I'm feeling really nervous, butterfly in my stomach. More nervous than him.
Oh, I know he's gonna wipe the floor with him. He's gonna chew him up and spit him out. He's won every fight he's ever been in.
The strongest thing would probably be my pride. I'm not gonna lose. Yeah.
And like I said, in this, I don't think there'll be any knockouts because the gloves are too heavy. It's not like the boxing gloves where they use the 6-ounce gloves. They're using 12-ounce gloves and headgear. So I think it'll just be more guys getting tired than knocked out. You know what I mean? Every fight's gonna go the distance, and they're just gonna be huffing and puffing at the end rather than knocked out.
because he got more or less like he got pushed down. He got excited, he got overexcited instead of coming back a little bit control. He came in, he started exchanging wild shots. The other guy got lucky. Starts throwing stuff like that, sometimes just by stepping back at the guy's punching at each other. I don't know if you're taller, him, shorter than him, I don't know.
Can you carry that in for me?
I can do that for you, baby.
Hey boys, it's Tim here. Are you talking hockey? Have you called up all the NHL teams to tell them that you'll sign contracts? I wish I could be with you there. I'm still waiting to get the call back. Ready to win the cup. I'm going to start calling up the NHL owners and tell them that we'll all sign contracts. Okay? Keep talking hockey, keep playing good hockey. You're in my heart. Want to see us win the cup.
This guy's fucked.
What the fuck are we... Whoa.
What am I doing?
My goal here is I want to win a championship this year. If we want to win the league, we got to be smart. You know, if we're smart and the coaches get pissed off and start benching guys for fighting all the time and stuff like that, but we can win it all.
I mean, you've seen how it's been all playoffs. We've got, what, 15 shifts and 10 games or whatever, you know, or not much more, you know, something like that. Like, it's pretty bad, you know. So I got my first shift. We were up 2-0, and Melanson, they put Melanson out and they put me out there. We had just scored 2 goals, so we were up 2-0, everyone was pumped, and so he asked me to fight. I didn't want to fight, but you don't want to lose the momentum. You don't want them thinking, we, you know, Journey wouldn't fight, you know, and next thing you know, they score a goal, you know, you gotta, once you get on top with somebody, you gotta keep them down, right? So I was like, yeah, I guess we're fighting, you know. And the whole place was cheering like crazy, you know, so I guess I have to. Like, well, at least I'll get ice time then, you know, I'm taking it for the team. You know, I mean, you gotta respect your players, right? So I did that, had a good fight. And then, so I didn't get a single shift after that.
In the playoff, we have to pay the price for the team.
I was so angry, so discouraged, so I just wanted to quit. Just, what the fuck? Like, are you kidding me?
Oh, am I doing here? I'm actually going pretty loony. Just crazy. Just, it's to the point where I just can't wait to get home. You know, I live actual life. You know, but you know, like I love playing hockey and stuff like that, and that's what's eating me up right now, is not playing.
We got a penalty last time, and because you don't fucking want me to play.
With Anderson's playing the way he's playing now, I think we're going to win the cup. All the guys, they're ready. We're going to go for the cup. That's for sure.
You can play all season, you can play regular shift all season. Comes playoffs, you don't play at all. It's kind of disappointing, you know. Coaches don't even talk to me anymore. That's what's really bothering me.
Everybody there, huh? It's not optional. Everybody there. That's it. I can't make it on Monday.
Talk to me. You know, like, they don't even talk to me anymore.
Everybody has a role. And sometime maybe you're gonna do only 1-2 shift, but this 1 and 2 shift are really, really important for the team.
He's lucky he played me as much as he did, because I was ready to fucking explode, and I wasn't gonna dress again. You know, that's it. It's lucky he played me, because you can only take so much. Everybody has their breaking point. You know, how much can you take?
I think he would be happier if he would play more hockey here, and he would be respected as a hockey player for his skills and not for his skills of fighting.
Is he the team goon?
He is one of them, I think. If not, yeah, I think so.
The only thing that has kept me here is we're gonna win the cup. So if we don't win it, I'll be pretty pissed off. But I stuck it out the whole year here instead of going somewhere else. West Coast League or maybe the Central League.
I haven't played really a game in, geez, about a month or two now. It's been crazy. Yeah, it's, you know, then you talk to your parents at home and they're like, well, you know, what are you doing there? You know, like, why don't you just quit and get a job or something? And I was like, well, I'm still young.
As hockey players, nobody likes to sit out games. It's never fun sitting there watching your team play. Nobody enjoys that.
Yeah, it's like my dad said, you know, just have fun with it and figure it out over the summertime. It's not going to be hard to figure out, though, you know, like I'll be sitting there and, you know, I'll go back home, have a good time with all my buddies, but when it comes down to it and the weather starts turning, you know, a little bit colder and stuff, you know, it's hockey season. There's no way I'm not going to say no to coming back. If they offer the contract and everything, I'll be right back.
Because I didn't play a whole lot. I already kind of feel like I did. I have maybe wasted a season. I don't know. I'm not thinking about that right now. I'm just thinking winning the cup. Win the cup. You win the cup, a lot of things are forgotten. You get that ring. You know, you're making phone calls next year to teams. You know, I won. My team won the league. Everybody likes a winner.
I want to start moving on with my life to, you know, pursue another career, but it's so hard to let go. I don't know anything that's better than coming to play hockey for a whole season. You know, that's why I do feel like I want to come back and redeem myself. I want to prove myself, you know, prove myself to my teammates.
I do feel, you know, the people that do, you know, notice me and talk to me, they, you know what I mean? They notice me for, you know, being a Laval Chief. So, like, you know, and I do get noticed, you know, frequently. So, I mean, when you have, you know, supportive fans like we do, you know what I mean? When you got like thousands of people coming to every game and you got hundreds of people waiting for you when you come home, you know, at 1 o'clock in the morning cheering you, you know, you feel like, you know, like a champion.
Hey!
There you are, shit. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Hey, get a camera shot of that. I need an 8-year deal in the senior league. Woo!
I wouldn't be in Brampton if I didn't have to be right now. I mean, I wish we could have even just sucked it up and stayed in Montreal maybe and got jobs and I mean, because our house and stuff was our house and our backyard and our things, and we were like, I mean, pretty much broken up for 30 days. And I said, I mean, I basically came back and begged her to get back together and said, look, I mean, I made a mistake and chasing you for 9 years, so I ain't fucking losing you, so.
Well, I'd like to try to move up. Well, part of it is just because, I mean, it's the semi-pro league. I mean, it's not even a real pro league. Oh yeah, I'm a little pissed at the way Pelche handled things all year. If I was at a higher level or something, I would put up with it. Not there. There's no need for it. There's no excuse for it there.
What if you go back? Do you think that's going to happen again this year?
I don't want to even think about it. It's all snap.
Last time I talked to you, you were on your way to Norfolk
Yeah.
with the Admirals.
Well, you see, I thought I would have an opportunity in Norfolk. Yeah, this is kind of what me and the landlady, we decided we'd make this into like a workout room. Otherwise, like, she's got storage here, so.
What happened with the Chiefs?
Well, I was in 11 fights and 9 games, and they were using me as a fighter, and that was the first time in my life that I was ever solely used for that purpose on a hockey team. Had this York 2001 for training. You know, as a kid, when I was playing, it was a sport, you know? It was different. I have other weights, just not enough room to put them here.
What are you doing here then? You got a job?
No. Had 2 interviews last week.
Yeah.
Worked 1 day last week for $5 per hour.
Doing what?
Washing dishes in a kitchen. Made a good friend with almost all of the players on the team. You know, they were all good to me. They were all friendly with me, and I sort of got the impression that we were like a family. We were kind of like a hockey family. This is the Royal Canadian Legion Children's Sports Day, and I was a participant in that. And that was on July 8th in 1978. And this was put on, the Royal Canadian Legion had a sports day for all of the children. So, you know, we all got to participate in that, and they give us a badge or a patch. What I used to do was I used to sew all the patches on my jackets. I sewed all the patches on my jackets, eh?